WPIAL 5A non-conference action continues in Plumboro, Pennsylvania as the Gateway Gators travel to nearby Plum to take on the Plum Mustangs, both teams 0-2 on the season. Gateway coming off of tough losses to two defending 6A champions out of District 6 with State College 55-14 at home in Week 0. Then in Week 1 it was a 42-7 loss at NA. Meanwhile, Plum, they're 0-2 as well, and they have come off of losses at home against Franklin Regional in Week 0, 42-7, and then traveled to Latrobe last week where it was a 32-8 loss for the Mustangs out in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. A year ago, these two teams met in conference action. This year, a non-conference game as Plum has been moved from the Big East to the Northeast Conference, and that was back on September 22nd, 2023, and it was a 49-14 victory for the visiting Gateway Gators here in Plum, PA. So we take a look at last year's matchup. Brad Birch threw for 358 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Jaquan Reynolds added 3 touchdown runs. And Steve Jenkins and Kenny Lewis each had over 100 yards receiving. Meanwhile, current Plum QB TJ Futulis scored a 37-yard touchdown run a year ago against the Gateway Gators. This year, Futulis has been sharing time with another quarterback in Josh Nonenberg, who is 11 of 24 for 88 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 24 yards rushing for his credit thus far. Mustangs have been outscored thus far this season 74-25. That sounds bad until you hear the way Gateway has started off their season, as they have found themselves outscored by a total of 97-21.
Iraq and Afghanistan.
Both teams meeting out in the middle of the field for the ceremonial coin toss here at Plum High School in the eastern suburb of Pittsburgh. This has been a long-time rivalry, and like I said, now a non-conference matchup between these two teams. Take a look at some of the individuals thus far this season for the Gateway Gators through a couple of games. Freshman quarterback Elvis Kuchakas, 29 of 48 for a really reasonable 60% completion rate for 339 yards over 2 games. 3 touchdown passes, that's the good news. The bad news is he has 4 interceptions on the season. And while one of them was on a deflected pass, the other 3 were reasonably egregious back in Week 0. Now, Kuchakas has also rumbled for about 45 yards, but the bad news for the Gators is Kuchakas, in all likelihood, is out with a knee injury that he sustained in the 4th quarter last week at North Allegheny. It was touch and go when I was talking to the athletic staff earlier this week, so we'll see if Kuchakas will be back there or will it be Sid Bryant. Now, Sid Bryant obviously has some experience to his credit, including a start last year at Woodland Hills, and he has subbed in over the last 2 years as the signal caller for the Gateway Gators. Good to have you along with us here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Adam Gusky on the call for you solo tonight. Vince Russo on assignment elsewhere. I want to thank our diligent crew for getting us ready for this big non-conference matchup between the team on the near side wearing the purple uniforms and the far sideline, the Gateway Gators. They wear the white jerseys with the gold pants and the black lids. Both teams getting their last-minute instructions. You see Don Hall returning to the sideline for Gateway. So Gateway will receive to begin this football game. So we'll see the Gateway offense first. And the kick unit will come out for the Plum Mustangs. And kicking it off for Plum will be Olivia Bigger. That's right, I said Olivia. Olivia, who has seen action each of the last 2 years against Gateway, is the #1 kicker on the depth chart now for the Plum Mustangs. And her mom, Lindsay, a Gateway graduate, as we are underway here in Plum, PA. An end-over-end kick will be returned by S.J. Moorfield. He'll cross the 20 to the 30, still on his feet to the 40, dancing down the sidelines as he crosses the 45, out to the midfield straight. He's still going and is finally brought down by Brendan Marston.
John Moorfield with the return, brought down by number 11, Marston.
So Gateway is going to set up shop with great field position here inside of Mustangs territory. As they say, the kick return ended at the 48-yard line. And it is Sid Bryant at quarterback for Gateway, coming from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. Bryant, the senior, setting up in the shotgun. Trips on the left of that formation. Motion man from left to right. Handoff, Amari Gans dancing, trying to bounce it left. Slides past one tackle, but can't get past the second. Is stepping up and making the play, Darian Nelson.
Gans with no gain for the Gators.
So a gain of about 1 as that ball's moved from the 48 down towards the 47.
Second down and 9.
This time the end around, coming from left to right. Jaden Stammer. Stammer brought down close to the first down markers. He carries it inside of the 40, or will they say he's downed at the 40, down at the bottom of the pile. It's Landon Eichert, excuse me. 5'9" junior for Plum. Bryant claps his hands, gets a new signal from the sideline, plenty of time on the play clock. High snap, he'll hand it off to Gans. Gans drives his way forward, picks up the Gateway first down. He needed 2, got 3.
Trent Reese with the tackle. And the ball spotted at the 37-yard line. That's a first down for the Gators.
Bryant calls the protection. Sets in the shotgun, 2 wings on the left of the formation. Straight drop back for Sid. All kinds of time, now scrambles left. Pumps a shot. Instead, he'll run to the far boundary, where he'll be run out of bounds by Taylor Boleno.
Bryant with the scramble for a small gain. Boleno with the tackle.
Second down, 5.
Second down.
Sid pulls it out of the belly of Amari Gans. Scrambles right, dumps it down at the feet of the tight end, Casey Carter. And 3rd and 5. Sid Bryant pumping, eluding pressure, tossing, wide open. S.J. Moorfield, Gateway touchdown of 32 yards.
Touchdown received by number 3, John Moorfield.
Take another look at this one, wide open. S.J. Moorfield was back behind the coverage, takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. PAT is up and in for Lococo, and 9:53 to play here first quarter. Gateway steps out on top by a score of 7-0. Final non-conference matchup of the early portion of the season for Gateway as we take another look at this Gateway touchdown. Bryant with that pump was able to get a defender off of his feet and then found S.J. Moorfield down there inside of the 5 for the Gateway touchdown.
Lococo to pick off for the Gators. Nelson and still back to receive for the Mustangs.
So Lococo kicks off here. And we'll get our first look at the Gateway defense and the Plum offense. And on the return goes the Plum Mustang out to around the 30 before he is brought down.
Brought down by number 24, Tristan Hudson.
Houston on the tackle for the Gators. And that was Darian Nelson on the return. So Plum goes straight from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback is Futulis. High snap. He's going to tuck and run it himself. Has a gap up the middle, still on his feet before finally being undercut and brought down by Carlos Diggs. A first down for Plum out across the 40 to around the 43-yard line, and a Gator is down, and that is not good news, as that appears to be Carlos Diggs, the Gator who's shaken up. Have to double check, and it is not Carlos Diggs, it is TJ Mitchell, 5'9" junior. And he's being tended to. Taking a look at that lower right leg. And boy, has Gateway been bitten by the injury bug thus far this season. Talked about Kenny Lewis coming into the year being a prime target for the freshman quarterback, Kachakis. And while we don't have Kachakis tonight, we are not going to see Kenny Lewis all season long, as he has a knee injury that will keep him out for the entirety of the 2024 high school football season. Chase Gabriel continues to wear a sling on his left arm. He was supposed to be one of the pivotal pieces of that Gateway offensive front, and he has been out the entire season as well. And now we see TJ Mitchell with a significant hitch in his giddy-up heading to the sideline. Clock winding here, down towards 9.5 minutes to go first quarter as Futulis hands off. Ball carrier up the middle is Nicholas Odom, 5'9" senior, the ball carrier. Tackle on the play by Agbadzi, Sina Agbadzi, the junior. Again, a stacked pistol. Futulis pressured, wrapped, sacked. Jackson Smith with the sack. And that turns 2nd and 7 into 3rd and long. That ball will be marked back at the 40-yard line. And that'll make it 3rd down and 13.
That measures up to 3rd and 13.
So 3rd and 13. Futulis, he's going to hand off. Ball carrier coming to the near side. It's Nelson. Nelson tries to turn the corner, but he is brought to the turf by Jaden Stammer.
Nelson with a small pickup.
Gain of a handful, not enough for the first down. That'll bring up 4th and 8, and the punt unit comes on. Gateway looks to build on their 7-0 lead here. 4 minutes into this quarter, this first quarter at Plum High School.
Futulis back to the punt.
Futulis the punter. S.J. Moorfield is the deep man on the return for Gateway. A punt that'll take a bounce or two and continue to roll in favor of Plum, and will be down inside of the 16, and it'll be down to the 15. So Gateway with a long field to work with this time.
Ball will be spotted at the 15-yard line.
As I mentioned, this is the final non-conference test of the early portion of the season. As we look forward to next week, Gateway will be at Kiski. The Gators will take on the Cavaliers. There will be a host of conference games before wrapping up the season at home in a non-conference matchup against 6A Hempfield. And that's right, when you look at the Gateway schedule, 3 of their 4 non-conference opponents are in the 6A classification, including State College and NA, which were both champions in their districts out of 6A. As Amari Gann sidesteps a tackler, gets shouldered out of bounds hard, but still a big pickup there for the Gators before Gans is hit out of bounds by Noah Odom. Odom with a big hit.
And brought down by number 2, Noah Odom. First down and 10.
Bryant sending trips to the left. Hands off. It's Gans again. Good push by the Gators offensive line there. Pickup of 4 from the 33 out to the 37-yard line. He's at the bottom of the pile. It's Darian Slaughter, 6'3", 270-pound senior two-way lineman.
Second down and 7 for the Gator offense.
It says 2nd and 7 on the scoreboard. It looks more like 2nd and 6 from our vantage point. As Sid Bryant is flushed to the left. They grab his ankles and a sack there for the Mustangs as it's Darian Slaughter. Slaughter with one extra burst of speed to catch up to Sid Bryant and makes the stop.
Ball spotted at the 29-yard line.
So it goes from 2nd and about 6 back to 3rd and 15, a loss of 9 on that play. Definite passing situation here for the Gators. Bunch formation on the right side. Gans the lone setback. Sid Bryant looking left. Some flags are down. Bryant is wrapped and sacked. This time on the stop, Dorian Anderson. Like I said, the flags are down in the vicinity of holding, and if this is holding, you've got to assume the Mustangs are going to decline that one and send the punt unit on for the Gateway Gators here. Decision time for Matt Morgan. That's exactly what they're going to do, decline the penalty as the Gators bring the punt unit on. And Sid Bryant stays on to punt. We saw in week 0, James Lococo do the punting, but last week Sid Bryant stepped in and Sid did a significantly better job punting the football, and that's why we see him out there yet again this week. Gators run one on late, but plenty of time on the play clock. Token pressure on Bryant as he gets this one away. Takes a big bounce in favor of the Gators, but it's scooped up off of that bounce by Nico Signor, and Signor is brought down inside of Gateway territory. Over on the near sideline. A couple of Gators over here on the near boundary making the stop. Again, near sideline Plum. They wear the purple jerseys, the gold pants, purple lids. Far sideline Gateway. White jerseys, gold pants, black helmets. And again, the Mustangs set things up. And Futulis, he's going to run up the middle. He's got nowhere to go. Gets back to the line of scrimmage and no further as the stop is made by Colin Ireland. 5'8" junior linebacker for Gateway.
No gain for Futulis, 2nd down and 10.
Inverted wishbone yet again for Plum as they toss it to the right-hand side, leaping up, breaking up the pass is Sena Agbadzi, the 5'11 Now he's listed as a linebacker, but really does play more along the lines of a defensive lineman. We'll take another look at this one. Good pressure there applied by Ekbadze, and he doesn't overrun the play. Steps in, steps up, and swats it away. Clock stopped here, 4:36 to play first quarter. And some movement from the Gateway front on a hard count. And that's going to cost the Gators 5 yards, so instead of 3rd and 10, it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
Offsides on the Gator defense. And the 5-yard penalty makes it 3rd down and 5. At the 42.
High snap, Futulis. Play action to no one. He's flushed to the near side. He turns the corner and looks like he's got that first down as he tiptoed down the near boundary. He does pick up the first down because the officials say he steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line, and that's more than enough for the Mustangs' first down.
And it looks like the ball is still at the 36-yard line. That's good.
Nice job by Futulis walking that tightrope down the near boundary. After the Mustangs' first down, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. This time handoff up the middle. Bouncing off of tacklers is Odom, and he'll be strung out to the near boundary. Initially looked like it was going to be a significant loss on the play, but Odom retreating, bringing it to the near boundary, ends up only losing about 1 on that play. And a face mask penalty against Gateway on the near boundary. I didn't see the flag come down because it was so far over here on the sideline. So the face mask negates a good defensive stop by the Gators and sets up Plum 1 yard away from the red zone.
Another Mustang first down.
High snap. Toss to the right. Pass is complete. Pulling it in is Odom, and the stop made by S.J. Moorfield in the open field. Gain of just 1 on the play.
No gain on the play. It is 2nd down and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Clock winding here in the first quarter. Gateway scoring first on their first possession of the game. A long pass from Sid Bryant to S.J. Moorfield. Plum looking to answer back on their second possession. Futulis in the shotgun. He's going to hand off, running to the near side left. It's Nelson. Nelson strung to the boundary, forced out by Jackson Smith.
Another pickup for Barrier Nelson, brought down by number 10, Jackson Smith.
And they'll say that Smith makes the tackle right at the 20. No gain, brings up 3rd down and 9.
For the Mustang offense.
Futulis looking right, throwing right, has a receiver wide open at the 2-yard line, and stepping into the end zone is Darian Nelson as the Gators defense breaks down. Nelson weaves his way out to that far hash and finds himself wide open out there. And a nice job by Nico Signor to set up the pick and didn't do anything egregious in the process to draw a flag, and he held up 2 Gator defenders in the process, so Gateway was not able to get a defender over there. It seemed like Carlos Diggs was the assigned defender trying to make his way over there. The flag comes in as Plum had 12 men on the field, or make it 11 young men and 1 young woman out there. As it is Olivia Bigger out there to kick the PAT. Bigger, a star on the soccer team here at Plum. Hold down, kick up, and that kick, a low liner, gets in between the crossbars, or in between the uprights and over the crossbar, and we're tied at 7 with 3:26 to play here in the first quarter. Again, Futulis with the touchdown pass to Odom, tying this game up. I want to thank the Plum Technology Department providing us with wireless broadband service for tonight's game. And we are live here on YouTube and GatewayGatorProductions.com because of it. And speaking of Gateway Gator Productions, busy week this past week as we had girls volleyball on Tuesday in a remarkably competitive matchup between the Gators and the Indiana Indians. The Gateway ended up losing. And then on Wednesday, we had girls soccer. Mars put it on the Gators in that girls soccer matchup. We'll look more into what's ahead on GatewayGatorProductions.com after this Olivia Bigger kickoff. It'll take a bounce off of a Gateway Gator, and then is scooped up, coming back the other way, Carlos Diggs. Diggs retreating, gets tripped up, and is brought down inside of the 10, and there's a flag down in the process. So we'll have to try to iron that out as well.
Right around the 10-yard line, there is a flag on the play.
So an illegal block in the back against Gateway is the penalty. Half the distance to the goal. And the ball will be back at the 5. So for the second drive, Gateway has the long field to deal with. On the opening kickoff, it was a big return for Gateway into Plum territory. They started the drive at the 48-yard line, and they ended up capping that off on the 32-yard touchdown pass. Let's see what the Gators offense can do here with a very long field to deal with. 95 yards away from pay dirt. Is Sid Bryant. Play action. Tosses left. Pass is complete. It's S.J. Moorfield. He's got the first down and more as he's wrestled to the far boundary. Tackled by his number mate, Trent Reese.
John Moorfield with a pretty good pickup there for the Gator offense. First down and 10, ball located on the...
Gain of 19 on that play, out to the 24. Brings up this 1st and 10. Quick snap. Bryant has it knocked out of his arms, and it's covered up by the Plum Mustangs. Strip sack and a takeaway by the Mustangs, and Plum is set up in great position to take the lead with this position, with this takeaway on Darian Nelson's strip sack.
Darian Nelson recovered by number 55, Evan Corrigan.
Evan Corrigan with the fumble return. 6'1", 290-pound two-way lineman.
First down.
Big test here for the Gateway defense. Conversation between Don Hall and our white hat referee is draw handoff. Futulis weaving his way forward. Ball comes loose. Did the Gators get it right back? Waiting for the signal. Gateway football. S.J. Moorfield with the fumble recovery after Futulis fumbles the ball on the QB draw, pulled it out of the belly, raced his way forward, lost his balance initially, and a great job by Carlos Diggs to rip that one out of there. So we had a great look at that. And then S.J. Moorfield with the fumble recovery for Gateway. So Sid Bryant and the Gateway offense looks to make amends after the turnover just one play ago. 2:40 to play here first quarter. We're tied at 7. Bryant sends a man in motion. That's S.J. Moorfield. Low snap, play action. Setting up the screen to that left-hand side. It's a Gator rumbling down that far side. Casey Carter. And Carter is shaken up as the play goes to that far boundary.
Brought down by number 34, Tavon Rupert.
Tackles credited for Tavon Rupert, excuse me. And as we took a look at that replay, Casey Carter landed on his head and then went over. Looks like they're more attending to his left shoulder area as well as his head. As they talk about, he landed on the forehead, then went over. So the athletic training staff continues to take a look over there at yet another Gator who is shaken up. You can see Carter going down that far sideline, grabbed by Rupert, and that's when Carter went head over heels, or heels over head, as it were. And he is sitting up now, which is great news. Promised that we'd let you know what's coming up here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. And in just 6 days, it'll be girls volleyball against Franklin Regional at the Henry J. Fury Complex. And the Gators on the road for the third week in a row next Friday night at Kiski. We've got ourselves a girls soccer game a week from Monday. And 2 games that week. And so we've got girls soccer and boys soccer coming up in 2 weeks before Gateway football is at home against the Franklin Regional Panthers. And they're on the road again in a brand new opponent, in the Armstrong Riverhawks. Armstrong moving up to 5A and moved into the Big East Conference. Plum, one of 2 teams bounced out of the Big East to make room for Kiski and Armstrong. Sid Bryant, QB draw. Trying to push his way forward, and it's going to pick up some modest yardage out towards the 20-yard line before he is brought down. Evan Corrigan involved in the tackle for Plum.
Tackle by number 55, Evan Corrigan. And it's second down.
G-block, the Gator students looking on. As Sid Bryant hands off to Amari Gans. He runs left, cuts it back a little bit to the right, out towards the 25. Tackle on the play by Dorian Anderson. That brings up third down and about 3. Line to gain is the 27-yard line. Ball currently at the 24. Bryant moves Gans to his right-hand side. Gateway bringing some pressure. Bryant tossing over to S.J. Moorfield, but off the mark as there was a Gator streaking down the near sideline. Absolutely wide open in Tristan Houston.
For the Gator offense.
And it's 4th and 3. And the punt unit's going to come back on for Gateway as we remain tied here at 7 apiece with 1:26 to play in this first quarter. Gateway scoring on their first possession. They got the short field after the kickoff and the 32-yard touchdown pass from Bryant to S.J. Moorfield. On the other side, on the second possession of the game, Plum scoring on Futulis' pass to Odom. Bryant the punter, and this one, I don't know if Plum got a piece of it or what the story is, but the Mustangs are going to cover it up at the 20-yard line, and again a short field for Plum. I don't know if Bryant kicked it off the side of his foot or if a Mustang got a piece of it, and it just absolutely went off of the side of Sid Bryant's foot. And to add insult to injury, it takes a bounce in favor of the Mustang, and that is where it's covered up by Darian Slaughter. Don Hall having some words with his QB and punter, Sid Bryant. Looking right, throwing right. And the pass is going to be intercepted by Gateway. Stepping in front of the receiver is Carlos Diggs, and on the previous short field for Plum, Carlos Diggs with the strip. This time, he has the INT. That's the good news for Gateway. The bad news, are they going to swat the ball at the 1, or are they going to say it's a touchback to the 20? That's great news for Gateway, as they say it is a touchback to the 20. Futulis looking right, throwing right down that far side. A wrestling match that was easily won by Diggs, and Diggs ends up in the end zone as he pulls that one in, much to the pleasure of the Gateway defensive coaching staff. .110 to go here in this first quarter. Gateway and Plum tied at 7 apiece as a timeout is called. I think it comes from the Gators sideline as Don Hall comes out and wants to have a conversation with his offensive squad. Good news, Casey Carter is back out there on the Gateway offense. As we look ahead for this Gateway team, final non-conference matchup, tune-up I should say, is tonight here at Plum, and then next week it'll be at Kiski at home versus Franklin at Armstrong. Battle of the Bell on October 4th. It'll be Gateway's homecoming at Antamarino Stadium. And for the second year in a row, the Gators will be at the Wolverina for this time a conference matchup against the Woodland Hills Wolverines. And it'll be at home against Latrobe before wrapping up the season at home against the Hempfield Spartans. Again, want to thank our crew for getting us here and set up in record time today. One little hiccup as we were approaching kickoff, but no problems for our viewers at all. As Sid Bryant tossing it to Amari Gans, the pass just a little tall for Gans, and trailing the play was Odom, and Odom had an opportunity at the football, but ends up hitting the turf innocuously as Bryant was hit late on the play by Nelson after releasing the football, but not egregiously late by any stretch of the imagination. So 1:05 to play here in the first quarter. As we're tied at 7 apiece. Clock stopped. Draw a handoff. It's Amari Gans wiggling his way forward, still driving out towards the first down marker. And they'll say he's brought down just shy, a gain of 9 for Amari Gans. As he is stacked up and brought down. Noah Odom amongst others involved on the stop.
Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. Third down and 1.
Amari Gans, big hole this time. He's got the first down and more as the tackle is made by Trent Reese.
Gans was going to pick up, and that'll lead to a Gateway first down. Brought down by number 3, Trent Reese.
Clock winding down, under 30 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Gateway could allow the quarter to expire based on where the play clock is. Gans sets to the left of Sid Bryant here on 1st and 10 at the 39. Bryant looking left, throwing left, complete. S.J. Moorfield gathers himself, picks up the first down and much more inside of Plum territory to the 44-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 43 before he is finally stopped. And Gateway with a big first down there. His tackle is made by Trent Reese. And that will be the final play of this first quarter as we're tied at 7, 12 minutes in the books. It'll give us an opportunity to take a quick pause through 12 minutes of football here at Plum High School. It's the Gateway Gators 7, the Plum Mustangs 7, and you're tuned in to GatewayGatorProductions.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, a friendly reminder, the middle school cheerleaders are receiving donations to benefit breast cancer research and treatment. If you would like to make a donation, please spot one of the cheerleaders carrying a bucket with a pink ribbon. Your support is greatly appreciated.
First play of the second quarter. As the pass is complete to Jaden Stammer.
Complete pass to number 8, Jaden Stammer. Brought down by number 5, Darian Nelson.
Tackle on the play by Darian Nelson.
Still says first quarter on the scoreboard. Let's go, 5-2, get in there.
Sid Bryant rolling right. Steps out of some pressure. Settles his feet. Throws down the field. And the pass is batted around and falls to the turf incomplete. Decent chance at an interception for Nico Signor. Also in on the defense was Tyler Boleno. Gateway going to S.J. Moorfield, and Moorfield breaking out of tackle, still on his feet as he's brought down at around the 17-yard line, but a flag away from the play is thrown back towards the line of scrimmage. I don't know if the official had a tough time getting the flag out of his pocket, but about here is where S.J. Moorfield was when the flag came out of the pocket and thrown way back at the 40-yard line. Officials sorting this out, waiting for the call. So it's an illegal man downfield against the Gators. So in addition to the penalty, it'll be loss of down.
On the Gators, and that'll be a loss of the down.
Flag says second down, scoreboard says fourth down. Sid Bryant, all kinds of time, finds S.J. Moorfield. He's got the first down. He's across the 20, and he's brought down inside of the 15 at the 14. So a play that was negated by penalty ends up being a better result on the ensuing play as the pass to S.J. Moorfield ends up with the Gators first down, and it's 1st and 10 for Gateway inside of the red zone. Bryant looking to the sideline, gets the call. Hands off, Gans bouncing right, and he will be brought down. Nice open field tackle by Darian Slaughter, and a flag in the process. It's going to be a holding against Gateway. And decision time here for Matt Morgan. Will they decline it and take the result of the play, or will they enforce the penalty and take the yardage back, which I think kind of makes sense. In this neck of the woods, I think 1st and 20 is a lot more attractive than 2nd down and 10 at the 14.
First down and 20 for the Gator offense.
Bryant with a bunch formation to the right. Quarterback draw, trying to go left. And he'll be brought down. Maybe a gain of a yard as Trent Reese is involved in the stop.
Bryant with the scramble.
Also in on the tackle is Nick Sheffa.
And in the 3, Trent Reese. And it looks like no gain in the play.
Gain of about a yard here makes it 2nd a little bit more manageable, but Plum is forced to take a timeout.
Timeout Mustangs.
Now you see the timeout indicators on our screen here. Those are controlled by the clock operator here in the press box at Plum High School. The issue is there are no timeout remaining indicators on the scoreboard, so they don't utilize those. So what we see is not necessarily what is actually what's happening with the timeout remaining, or timeouts remaining for both of these teams. So Plum with a chance to talk here as the G block looks on. Looking ahead for the Mustangs after their 2 losses. They host Gateway today, then host Shaler in a conference matchup next week. 2 straight conference games before they're at Penn Trafford in a non-conference matchup. And they'll find themselves at North Hills, hosting Fox Chapel at Kiski in another non-conference game. And wrap things up on the road in conference action. Bryant looking right the whole way. He's going to be eluding pressure, still on his feet. Scrambling right, tossing to Gans. Gans catches it, and Gateway has it inside of the 10. Amari Gans slipped out of the backfield, found himself back behind defenders, and Sid Bryant kept the play alive and picked up big yardage there for Gateway. And that'll take it from 2nd and 19 to 3rd and manageable about 5.
First and goal for the Gator offense.
So it's 3rd and 5 here. Motion man is Moorfield from right to left. Setting up the screen, complete to Carter. Carter slides out of a tackle, spins his way forward. Does he get the first down? It'll depend on the spot over there on that far side. Looks like he may have stepped out of bounds prior to getting to that first down marker. As we take another closer look at this one, nice job by Carter to reach out, grab a hold of that one, and drive his way forward. And the officials say that the stop was made on the sideline by Trent Reese, a yard shy of the first down flag.
Correction, it is 4th down and 1. Ball spotted on the 5-yard line.
Hand off Gans. Gans going left, driving his way forward. He's got the first down as they'll push the pile back, but it won't matter because Gateway will have it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. And showing some muscle here as he absorbed some contact from 2 or 3 purple jerseys and was still had enough momentum to push his way forward.
And it looks like he did just pick up the first down. 1st and goal for the Gator offense.
So Gateway 1st and goal with the ball at the 4. Sid Bryant pitches it left. Gans into the end zone for a Gateway touchdown, and Gateway reclaims the lead 13-7.
Amari Gans brings it in. Touchdown Gators.
So Amari Gans with the Gators TD. And Gateway on top, 13-7, and Lococo comes on to attempt the PAT. And the hold of Sid Bryant. Snap, hold, kick, and that PAT is up and in. And Gateway has reclaimed a 7-point lead on Plum.
And with that kick.
Take another look at this one. Pitch to the left side. Gans contacted it around the 1 and takes it in the end zone for the Gateway TD. Warm night here in southwestern Pennsylvania, 78 degrees, humidity up over 50%. Sun just set moments ago. There was a nice breeze earlier today, but that has calmed down a good bit. The temperature up near 80 after sundown. You know it's a muggy evening. Weather has been picture perfect all weekend, and as we were looking towards today, we saw that heat and humidity coming back, as seems to be the case each and every early season Friday night. Making the test a little bit tougher for the guys out there on the gridiron. Lococo kicking off. End over end kick. On the return, it's Odom. Odom going left. He's met and brought down. Magnificent open field tackle for Gateway by Mackay Burns-Diggs. Burns-Diggs, 5'9", 165-pound junior, knifed through some traffic, made the big contact, made the stop. Kind of lost his helmet in the process too. So the Mustangs with the long field to work with. Ball at the 21, 79 yards away from pay dirt. Talked about it before the game. We've seen Plum shuffle quarterbacks. Now it's Josh Nonnenberg in there at QB. Pulls it out of the belly, hitches. Now he's wrapped and brought down. Gateway was swarming after some indecisiveness by Nonnenberg.
Number 5, Amari Gans with the sack.
Gans initially with the pressure, then Gateway brought a second wave in, and Gans was able to get back and clean things up for Gateway as the Gators push the ball back inside of the 15. Line to gain is the 31, so it's second down and 16.
Second down and 16 to go.
Pistol formation for Nonnenberg. This time he'll hand off. Bouncing off of the first tackler is Odom, and he's brought down by Carter.
Number 36, Nicholas Odom with a small gain.
The Gator is down back behind the play, and that is Colin Ireland. As he rides, grabbing his face mask inside of the 15. And Odom coming off of the field, favoring a right leg as well. We talked about the humidity. That could be what is ailing Odom. The way he's carrying that right leg seems to be an issue, but as we take a look at Ireland, he's being tended to on that right leg by the athletic training staff over there. And they are going to take a serious look at Ireland, and we'll take a serious look up ahead here in the Big East Conference. No teams playing conference action just yet. Armstrong is 2-0, as is Franklin Regional and Latrobe. Kiski, Penn Trafford, and Woodland Hills are all 1-1. Gateway is 0-2. Elsewhere in the Big East Conference this evening, Latrobe is at Norwin, a battle of 2-0 teams. Latrobe out of 5A, Norwin in 6A. Franklin Regional headed south to take on the undefeated Upper St. Clair Panthers in a battle of 5A Panthers. Moon is at Penn Trafford, Hempfield at Kiski, and Bethel Park is at Armstrong. And of course, Woodland Hills, big game hosting Pittsburgh Central Catholic at the Wolverina tonight. As Nonenberg sliding to his right, stepping up and tossing along the near boundary. And the official runs up, says it is a completed pass and a first down for the Plum Mustangs. Pulling that one in was Nico Signor, and Signor steps out of bounds unscathed for the Plum first down. Ball's 37, where it's 1st and 10. Nonenberg in the pistol, claps his hands. Gateway flinches but does not breach the neutral zone. Clock winding towards 5.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ball carrier this time, Charles Hart. And he shows some strength, bouncing off of tacklers, driving his way forward before he's brought down. Down at the bottom of the pile, it's Sena Ekbadzi, also involved on the stop for the Gators, is Jackson Smith. Gain of 5, and it's 2nd and 5 from the 42.
And it'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Mustang offense.
High snap, toss left, pass complete to Humphreys. Humphreys brought down inside of Gators territory. S.J. Moorfield on the tackle, but not before Humphreys picks up a Mustangs first down at the 45-yard line of the Gateway Gators.
Ball spotted on the Gateway 45-yard line.
5 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Gateway on top of Plum by 7, 14-0. Nonenberg, hard count. Gateway breaching neutral zone this time, as it was Sena Ekbadzi coming from the left end position. And he will be subbed out by Carter Raffon. Raffon, the Gators center. You can see he wears a glove on the left hand, bare hand on the right. And after the penalty, it's 1st and 5 at the 40 for the Mustangs.
Encouragement ball spotted 5 yards ahead at the 40-yard line. 1st down and 5.
Toss to the right-hand side. It's complete. Nonenberg finding Humphreys. Tackle on the play for the Gators by Tristan Houston.
Humphreys with another reception.
Gain of 4 brings up 2nd down and 1.
2nd down, 1 to go for the Mustang offense.
As Humphreys found himself one step ahead of Houston to make that reception. Two receivers right, one to the far side left. And up the middle, nowhere to go, as Amari Gans was in the backfield and met Darian Nelson and stonewalled him for a loss of 1, bringing up 3rd down and 2.
Looks like a loss of 1 on the play. Ball spotted at the 37-yard line. 3rd down and 2.
Play action. Nonenberg rolling left, stepping up, picking up the first down, hit hard and then dragged down, but not before he picks up a first down. Tristan Houston on the talk. Stop, brother.
Drives his way to the 30-yard line. And that's going to be good for another Mustang. First down.
Clock winding down to 2 minutes and 35 seconds to play. Gateway on top by 7, but Plum trying to answer back. Extended handoff coming to the near side right. Nelson is brought down in the backfield by Carter Rathbon. Also involved on the stop is Jackson Smith.
Number 10, Jackson Smith. Ball started at the 29-yard line, a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9 for the Mustang offense.
So 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs. We've got some whistles and the Gator is down. That's Carlos Diggs. Diggs has himself some Division I offers. Good crowd on hand for Plum. Gateway traveling well, near trip for the Gators faithful. I believe last year was homecoming for Plum on September 22nd, and they really packed the house for that game. As we take a look at Plum's conference, the Northeast Conference. North Hills, Pine Ridge, and both 2-0. Fox Chapel and Shaler are 1-1. And the Penn Hills Indians and Plum Mustangs, newcomers to this league, are both 0-2 on the season. We talked about Plum with losses against Franklin Regional at home in week 1 and at Latrobe, in week 0, and then at Latrobe in week 1. Gateway is also 0-2 on the season with losses to State College and NA, both 6A champions in their districts. As Carlos Diggs continues to be stretched out. Certainly nothing too serious, as you could tell on the face of Maurice Washington, one of the assistant coaches. Talked about it already. It's a warm night here in southwestern PA. 78 degrees at 8 o'clock, some 18 minutes after sunset, nearly 18 minutes after sunset. And we're still high temperatures, high humidity. Makes things very difficult on these young athletes, especially Gateway has so many players going both ways. Plum appears to be the same way. A lot of their starters go both ways. And while Diggs is getting stretched out over there, we have another Gateway player over here on the near sideline having a tough time of it, and he's being helped over to the far boundary. That is Jaden Stammer. He's being helped by 2 athletic trainers. So Stammer being assisted. And the clock resumes running. Under 2 minutes to go here.
As play resumes with just under 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
2nd and 9 for Plum. Ball at the 29. Motion man from right to left. Nonenberg is the QB. He hands off. Humphreys coming to the near side right. He's met near the line of scrimmage and then driven back. Jackson Smith was the first one there, and then Dyson Harper cleans up the play for Gateway. Gain of 4 on the play brings up 3rd down and 5. Line to gain is the 20-yard line. Nonenberg in the shotgun. Sending three receivers on the left of the formation, and some confusion here. And a timeout used by Plum with 52 seconds to go. Stay tuned at halftime. We will have on our live show the marching bands from both teams. And of course, on our archives, we will have Gateway Marching Band. Make sure you visit GatewayGatorProductions.com to stay up to date on all of our productions all year long, from the week 0 football game all the way through graduation in June. So we'll have the Gateway Game of the Week, sometimes multiple games of the week to go along with our full slate of football coverage throughout the fall. Talked about what's up ahead. Girls volleyball next Thursday, next Friday, football at Kiski. 2 games the following week as we head into the home game against Franklin Regional for the football team. And football is on the road at Armstrong on September 27th, so that's why you see 2 broadcasts the week of the 16th. We've got girls soccer against Hampton on October 2nd, and then it's the Battle of the Bell from Antamarino Stadium, homecoming in Monroeville on October 4. So 52 seconds to go here. Gateway on top by 7. Feigning a forward pitch. Instead, ball will be handed off for Odom. And Nicholas Odom driving his way towards the first down marker. They say it's enough for the Plum first down as the clock continues to wind here, down towards 40 seconds to go. Nonenberg in the shotgun. Checks to the sideline as the clock continues to wind. Now there's plenty of time on the play clock. That's the good news for Plum. But that game clock is winding down. Nonenberg scrambles left, tosses left, completes the pass, and across the boundary goes the receiver, Sloan Humphreys. So he was forced out of bounds over there, it looked like, by Tristan Houston. Houston was the first Gator in the territory, and he will get the tackle over there on that far side with 20 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Plum looking to knot this game up.
Ball placed at the 17-yard line, 2nd down and 7, with 20 seconds left on the clock.
Trying to gain the 10, the ball at the 17. Nonenberg looking left the whole way. Tosses left. Passes caught inside of the 10. They'll say actually at the 11. They say the receiver caught the ball at around the 9 and then voluntarily took 2 steps forward before stepping out of bounds, so he does not get that forward progress as he's shoved out of bounds by Tristan Houston. So it's 3rd and 1. Toss to the end zone. A flag comes in at the line of scrimmage, so we're going to have to iron this one out after that incomplete pass on 3rd and 1 from the 11. And that was thrown from the umpire right at the feet of an offensive lineman, and that's usually in the vicinity of holding. And that's exactly what it is, holding against the Mustangs.
Holding against the Mustang offense.
Gonna push Plum back 10 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 11 now for Plum back at the 21, with the line to gain being the 10. Nonenberg looking right this time, throwing right. Receiver has a step, and a nice job defensively there. Closing speed by Carter, reached the arm out, and if he didn't get a piece of the pass, at least he knocked off the concentration of Darian Nelson, the intended receiver. As we take another look at this one, great job by Carter to get that step back, making up for it.
And 6 seconds left on the clock.
And the field goal unit comes out. It will be Olivia Bigger, and she will attempt a 38-yard field goal from the left hash. Timeout called by Gateway.
Timeout taken by the Gators. This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt.
So again, this looks to be about a 38-yard field goal based on where the spot was prior to the timeout taken by Don Hall and the Gateway coaching staff. Gateway scoring touchdowns in the first and second quarters. Plum scoring their lone touchdown on their second drive of the game. Gateway with a touchdown in the air and on the ground, while Plum threw their lone touchdown pass to Noah Odom. Bigger, who has a PAT to her credit, will attempt this reasonably lengthy field goal. Out of the hold of Futulis. Futulis will spot the ball at the 28 on the left hash, so it will be a 38-yard attempt. Snap a little high, hold down, and Gateway got at least a piece of it as it will roll back into the end zone, and that'll just about do it for the second quarter. You've got to assume Gateway will just take the knee after this missed field goal, and we will head to the locker room.
The field goal attempt is knocked down.
Not sure if we had a good look at if Gateway blocked that field goal or if it was just low. It certainly did look like it was blocked by someone up front. Rolls into the end zone.
Ball spotted at the 20 for the Gators.
So Gateway, Sid Bryant is going to step under center, and he'll take the knee. And Gateway heads into the locker room with a lead for the first time this season. And in fact, Gateway has led for the first time this year in this football game, both 7-0 and 14-7. So 14-7 is your halftime score. We're going to step away for halftime. We'll come back just before the second half and get you ready for the third quarter. One final time. Your halftime score, Gateway 14, Plum 7. Enjoy the marching bands here on GatewayGatorProductions.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field the 2024 Gateway High School Marching Band. The band is proud to present our 2024 competition show titled Breaking Darkness, featuring the music of Alanis Morissette, Leonard Cohen, Edward Elgar, and original material by Luke McMillan. Tonight, the Gateway Band will perform the first two movements of their production. And now, the Gateway Music Department is proud to present drum major Landon Lord and the Gateway High School Marching Band. game is directed by Mr. Ryan Moser with assistance from Kelly McMasters-Parsons, Dave Burno, Casey Berg, Josh McGrew, with color guard direction by Jamie Cotter and Deb Costler. The Gateway Band would like to extend well wishes to the Plum Band for a fantastic season. Thank you for your kind support.
Halftime at Plum High School in this final non-conference warm-up as we head to conference play next week for the Gateway Gators. Adam Gusky on the call for you as Gateway leads Plum 14-7 at halftime. Time to take a look at our first half scoring recap, and we'll start off with the Gateway touchdown. Sid Bryant looking right the whole way, pumps to get a defensive lineman up off of his feet, and he finds S.J. Moorfield down at around the 6-yard line, and Moorfield does the rest into the end zone. And then we see Futulis going to the air for the touchdown for the Plum Mustangs as he found Darian Nelson just outside of the goal line, and Nelson took it the rest of the way for the TD. And then the Gators went to the ground on their final touchdown of half number one. It was a 4-yard touchdown run by Amari Gans on the pitch from Sid Bryant. And the Gators found themselves out on top 14-7, and that's where we are at halftime after Olivia Bigger tried to cut the Gateway advantage down to 3 just before the half, but the 38-yard field goal was blocked by the Gator front. And that is how we got to this 14-7 halftime score. Gateway got the ball first, so it'll be Mustangs' ball to begin half number 2. We hope you enjoyed both marching bands here on the live performance, and if you're tuned into the archive, hope you enjoy that Gateway marching band here at Plum High School. Again, want to thank the Plum Tech Department for providing us with some wireless broadband service so we can bring this broadcast to you. Here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Next week we'll be at Kiski as the Gators take on the Cavaliers. It'll be a homecoming of sorts for Vince Russo. He's from the Upper Allegheny Valley, and he'll be joining us on the call next week from just outside of Vandergrift, Pennsylvania. It'll be the first time Gateway visits the new stadium at Kiski High School. After for years and years they played what was once a minor league baseball stadium in the middle of Vandergrift called Davis Field, as we are back underway here in Plum, PA. In the second half, on the return is Nelson, who has the lone touchdown for Plum. Slides out of a tackle. He's still on his feet, driving his way out towards the 40 before he's ultimately brought down by Khalid Harper. Harper, the freshman, 5'9", makes the stop. Harper had a catch or two last week in mop-up time as the Gators found themselves behind. Big at North Allegheny. Gateway looking for their first victory of the season, as are the Plum Mustangs. Both teams come into today at a record of 0-2. As returning to the lineup is Anthony Futulis at QB for Plum. Inverted wishbone as he'll run to the right. Trying to pick up a block. Shedding a block, though, is Casey Carter, and Carter makes the tackle. You know, Carter had what appeared to be what had the potential of being a scary injury in the first half, but it's good to see him return to the lineup. He had caught a screen pass, ran left, forced out of bounds, came down on his forehead and went feet overhead, kind of a somersault action, and fortunately gathered his faculties and was able to return to the lineup for Gateway. Gain of 2 on that play brings up 2nd down and 8. As to the left goes Darian Nelson, and Darian Nelson finds a crease and a first down for the Plum Mustangs before he's brought down inside of Gateway territory by Carlos Diggs.
Big pickup for number 5, Darian Nelson, brought down by number 2, Carlos Diggs, and Jackson Smith.
Gain of 10 on the play, and it's 1st and 10. Ball at the 41-yard line.
That's good for a Mustang. First down.
Futulis hands off, up the gut go the Mustangs. A crease and another first down for Plum as they have committed to the run game. Tackles made by Dyson Harper. As Nicholas Odom picks up that first down for the Mustangs.
Ball spotted at the 35-yard line for another
First and
Mustang
10 for Plum.
first down.
Inside of Gators territory at the 35. And off again. This time it's Nicholas Odom. Odom's got nowhere to go. As the Gators shut that door there. A couple of Gators down at the bottom of the pile,
Odom with the carry.
including Grady Dunsmore.
Brought down by number 71, Grady Dunsmore.
Also in on the stop, Sena Ekbadzi. Dunsmore is
No gain on the play.
the younger
Second
brother.
down and 10 for the Mustang offense.
His older brother stand out forward and frontline player on the boys basketball and volleyball teams respectively over the past couple of years prior to his graduation. Broken play here for the Mustangs as Futulis tries to make something out of nothing, and the Gators make sure there is nothing going there as Jackson Smith's at the bottom of the pile as there's a host of Gators involved in that stop. Boy, is Jackson Smith, he looked great last year, but he has emerged even more so here in his sophomore season at that inside linebacker spot.
Illegal formation is the penalty. It is declined.
Also a penalty against Plum, illegal formation. Gateway declines that one, and smartly so. They'd rather take the result of the play, which was a loss of a couple, and brings up 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12 feels better than 2nd and 15 to Don Hall and the Gateway coaching staff. Futulis has time. Now flushed from the pocket as he rolls to his left. Hit as he releases the football, and the pass is incomplete. Flashing free for a moment was Nicholas Odom, but Futulis, who had time initially, felt that late pressure, and boy, was there a hold there on that left-hand side that the officials missed as Benjamin Strickland had grabbed a hold of a Gator in Elijah Fisher. But no penalty called and no completed pass to really have any impact on the play anyway. So it brings up 4th and 12, and Futulis will punt, giving the ball back to Gateway, and this will be the first time we see the Gators offense in the second half. S.J. Moorfield, the return man for the Gators. As the punt is away, bounces into the hands of Moorfield. He takes it on the run. Trying to cut his field to the near side, now cuts it back to the far side. Looking to turn the corner is S.J. Moorfield. He's across the 40 to the 50, where he'll step out of bounds, chased to that far boundary by Charles Hart. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Gateway at the midfield stripe. Nice return for S.J. Moorfield as we get another look at it. Right, left, and he decides to cut it back to the right yet again. And that's where he found some room to that far side, turning the corner. And big speed there for Charles Hart to force S.J. to the sideline. So the Gators 50 yards away from doubling up their lead, which currently stands at 7. Sid Bryant remains in at quarterback. If you're just joining us, last week, Elvis Kachakis was hurt, injury to his knee. He'll miss at least this week. As off of play action is Sid Bryant, looking right, throwing right, trying to find Carter. Carter had to kind of spin the wrong way and couldn't pull that one in. The incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10.
Pass is complete. Intended for number 9, Casey Carter. 2nd down and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Ball went to the wrong shoulder. Carter not able to pull it in, and it's 2nd and 10 for Gateway at the 50. Injuries have been an issue for Gateway. Kenny Lewis out for the season. Chase Gabriel out for an indeterminate amount of time. Talked about Kachakis at least missing this week, as Gans will try to take it up the middle, but there's a host of purple jerseys there. And they rudely meet Amari Gans. First player there, Evan Corrigan, 6'1", 290-pound two-way lineman for Plum.
And number 55, Evan Corrigan, no gain on the play, 3rd down and 12.
3rd and a dozen. Low snap. Bryant picks it up though. Tosses and sliding down, not able to pull that one in, was Tyree Gowder. 5'10" junior for the Gators, not able to pull that one in. That brings up 4th and a dozen. And Don Hall looks like he's going to send that punt unit out onto the field. That's exactly what he will do. Sid Bryant will boot it away. Gators up by 7. They look to flip the field here. The decent punt.
Nico Signor back to the seat for the Mustangs.
Signor, the return man for Plum. His heels at around the 22. Jackson Smith to snap it. Good snap, a little high though. Bryant gets it away, and they say that the guy who knocks down Sid Bryant from Plum, I think it was Charles Hart, got a piece of the ball in the process. So no roughing or running into the punter. So a punt of just 13 yards. So the Gators not able to flip the field, and the Mustangs with decent field position starting this drive at the 39-yard line. Now in the quarterback, Josh Nonnenberg. Empty set. He'll hand off to the wing coming from the right side, and Odom gets a yard or two before he is driven back and down to the turf.
Number 36, Nicholas Odom with the carry.
Bunch of Gators there involved in that stop. Good to see Ireland back in the lineup for the Gators, as Jackson Smith was involved in that tackle, as is Casey Carter.
Second down and 8.
So it's 2nd down and 8, ball at the 41-yard line for the Mustangs. Line to gain is the 49. The gut goes Plum. And it's Odom again. And Odom picks up a few to the 44. As it's Elijah Fisher on the stop for Gateway.
Brought down by Gateway's Elijah Fisher. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line.
3rd and 5 for Plum. Ball at the 44.
3rd down and 5 for the Mustang offense.
Frank Gazoulis steps over the football. Center for the Mustangs. Shotgun formation. Nonnenberg looks right, throws right, passes well, too strong over the head of Darian Nelson, and that brings up 4th and 5, and the punt unit comes out for the Mustangs. Plum moved the ball well on their first drive of this 3rd quarter. Reasonably into Gateway territory. They were pushed back by penalties and some good defensive plays. Punted away. S.J. Moorfield returned it to the 50, but the Gators not able to do anything with it. And a partially blocked punt by Sid Bryant. And the Mustangs go 3 and out, picking up just 5 yards. Punt is away by Futulis. Carrying to the far side. One hop into the hands of S.J. Moorfield. And Moorfield will take that hopping punt and run across the far boundary at around the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Gateway.
And that'll bring up the Gator offense midway through the 3rd quarter.
Again, Gateway with touchdowns in the first and second quarters respectively. Plum scored on their second possession of the game. They've been held scoreless since. They did have several possessions deep inside of Gateway territory, but turned the ball over. And Sid Bryant hands it off on the end around, and a nice read by Futulis. He brings down S.J. Moorfield back in the backfield prior to the 30-yard line. They'll mark it at the 29. Loss of 9 on that play brings up 2nd and 19.
Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. 2nd down and 19 for the Gator offense.
Sid Bryant calls the protection. Now motions Carter out of that wing on the left, setting up the screen. Pass is complete to Gans. Gans has nowhere to go. He's actually met a yard deep in the backfield. Plum read that one well, as Darian Slaughter, amongst others, is in on the stop for Plum.
Brought down by Trent Reese and Darian Slaughter.
Really nice job here by Plum to read Gateway, setting up that screen, stayed home, retreated, made the play for a 1-yard loss. Back to the 28-yard line, bringing up that 3rd and 20. Sid Bryant looks right, throws right. Pass is caught, hauled in there by Dyson Harper.
Pass completed to number 12, Dyson Harper. Brought down by number 83, Nico Signor. And it is 4th down and 10 for the Gators. Bryant back to punt.
Clock winding down towards 4 minutes and 38 seconds to go here. It's 4th and 10 for Gateway after they picked up 10 yards on that 3rd down play. Sid Bryant, this one a sky-high punt, not a lot of distance on it, and takes a bounce in favor of Plum. And again, not a field flipper by any stretch of the imagination, as the Gators' Tyree Gowder was forced to catch that one on a hop to minimize the damage. Plum will still have the ball 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ball is spotted at the Mustang.
One score in of note in the Big East Conference. Pittsburgh Central Catholic on top of Woodland Hills 35-7 at halftime. Futulis the QB. He'll hand off. No, he'll take it himself. Instead, up the gut. He's got a crease. He's got a 1st down and much more inside of Gators territory as a touchdown-saving ankle tackle by Tristan Houston, stopping Futulis at the 28-yard line.
1st down.
A little crease and Futulis was off to the races. This time the handoff goes to the left side. It's Nelson. He cannot turn the quarter. As the tackle's made in the backfield by Elijah Fisher for the Gators. Loss of 3, back to the 31. 2nd and 13 now for the Mustangs.
Brought down by Elijah Fisher of the Gators.
Mustangs check to the sideline. Still 15 on the play clock. Low snap. Futulis up the gut. Picks up a few.
Futulis with a carry again.
Ultimately a gain of about 5.
Brought down by Elijah Fisher.
As he was speedily through that crease. And he turns a 3rd and a dozen. Rather a 2nd and a dozen into 3rd down and about 8. Gain of 4 or 5 on that play. Futulis throwing right. And the closest player to the football was S.J. Moorfield, as there's a flag in the backfield. And this may be roughing the quarterback against Colin Ireland, because look back and I saw Futulis down on the field and Ireland running away. Officials ironing everything out. Conversation being held with Matt Morgan, head coach of Plum.
There are 2 penalties on the play. The first holding on the Gators, that penalty is
so 2 penalties against Gateway. The holding declined and the roughing the passer is accepted. And that 15-yard penalty will move the ball all the way down to the 13-yard line, half the distance to the goal. Futulis pulling it out of the belly of the back, and the Gators were not fooled by any stretch of the imagination there. As tackle was made in the backfield by Elijah Fisher.
Number 58, Elijah Fisher. Loss of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 12 for the Mustang offense.
Clock winding down to 2 minutes, 13 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Neither team has scored here in the third frame. It's the second time Plum has had the ball inside of Gators territory. This is the deepest penetration they've had in the second half. To the ground go the Mustangs. It's Charles Hart. And Hart takes it inside of the 10 to around the 7-yard line. So it goes from 3rd and a dozen, or rather 2nd and a dozen, to 3rd down and a very manageable 5. So more like 3rd and 4 here. But Gateway all over Anthony Futulis. Amari Gans with the wrap and sack.
Amari Gans bringing down Futulis. That's going to be a loss of yardage for the Mustang offense.
Loss of 5 on that play. The ball moved back. To the 14. So it's 4th and 11.
Ball spotted on the 14-yard line.
Matt Morgan decides to keep the offense on this time for Plum. Down under a minute to play here in the third frame. Toss intercepted. And with the INT, it's Tristan Houston. And Houston stays put in the end zone. Will they say it's a touchback, or do they say that Houston comes out of the end zone at the 1? The official's going to have a conversation here. And to be frank, I think the interception in the first half that was at the 1 was closer to being at the 1 than it was a touchback. And I think this one is much closer to being a touchback than it is the ball at the 1. But regardless, Gateway takes the ball away, but has 99 yards to go. Couple of hitches there, and Tristan Houston, yeah, he stepped out of the end zone, then stepped back in. And that's a good call there by the officials, who were certainly a lot closer to the spot than we were. Great coverage there by our camera operators. And Gateway, 1st and 10 at the 1. Sid Bryant in the shotgun with Amari Gans to his left. High snap. Ball bobbled around and covered up by Sid Bryant. It'll be a safety.
That is a safety, brought down by number 51.
High pressure situation here. And I know that shotgun is part of the Gateway offense, but I think there are circumstances where you've got to start to think about some under-center situations, and that may have been one that warranted it there. Try to get the ball out of the shadow of your own goal line. But instead, the shotgun snap by Carter Rathon over the head of Sid Bryant. He has to cover it up for the safety to avoid what could have been a touchdown for Plum. And now the Mustangs have cut the deficit down to 5, and they'll get the ball back with a chance to take the lead with this next possession. Both teams head into conference play next week. We've still got a quarter and 30-some seconds to go. Bouncing punt by Sid Bryant. And a fair catch by the Mustangs. So it will be 1st and 10 for Plum at the 46-yard line.
Number 24, Maddox Rodersheimer. And the Mustang offense will begin at the 46-yard line. 1st down and 10 following the safety.
So now in at quarterback for Plum as they've been rotating, Josh Nonenberg. Motions to a two-back set to the Mustangs. Spinning out of some traffic goes Darian Nelson, and he'll be brought down after picking up some positive yardage, turning nothing into something before Dyson Harper makes the stop. And that'll do it for the third quarter. So through 36 minutes of football, Gateway 14, Plum 9. Mustangs with the ball near midfield. We'll be back with fourth quarter action here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Set to start the fourth quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Mustangs. Nonenberg hands off, crease over left tackle, and a first down for the Mustangs. As Nicholas Odom is brought down by Ireland. Not before Odom picked up 8.
And that'll move the chains for a Mustang first down.
First and 10 at the 44. Nonenberg hands off. Odom bounces it to the left as he slides away from Gans and steps out of bounds on his own.
Nicholas Odom again with the carry. Picks up.
Gain of a half dozen brings up 2nd down and 4 for Plum, as again they drive the ball inside of Gators territory.
On the 38-yard line. 2nd down and 4 for the Mustang offense.
And off again, it's Odom. Huge hole over left tackle and a Mustangs first down inside of the Gateway red zone before the tackle was made by Jackson Smith.
That's good for another Mustang first down.
Nonenberg in the pistol, and Gateway across the neutral zone and into the Mustang backfield. Hard hand clap by Nonenberg, drawing Amari Gans offside. Clock continuing to wind as it's 1st and 15 for the Mustangs. Ball at the Gators 14.
First down and 5 at the 14-yard line.
6.
Nonenberg's pass is complete. Sloan Humphreys pulls it in. Humphreys pulls it in at the 7. That's enough for a Mustangs first down, and it's 1st and goal for Plum at the 7. And Plum with a chance here to claim the lead for the first time today. Plum led Franklin Regional in week 0 as Odom goes to the ground. As the tackle is made by Gateway's Malik Anderson.
Nicholas Odom with the carry. 3 yards picked up, 2nd down and 4.
It was a very short-lived lead for Plum against Franklin Regional. Nonenberg rolling right, and he will take it into the end zone unscathed for a Plum touchdown. And the Mustangs have taken the lead on Gateway, taking advantage of a safety and then driving the ball just over 50 yards. And Plum on top of Gateway 15-14. And Plum's going to go for 2 here, I would assume. Make it a 3-point game. A 2-point game doesn't do you any good. So the Mustangs call a timeout.
Again, that was a 4-yard touchdown dash from the quarterback, number 6, John Nonenberg.
And that gives Matt Morgan an opportunity to discuss what Plum is going to do here on this 2-point conversion play. Gateway looks to make a stop here. A stop here keeps the deficit at 1, and the Gators will get the ball back. A chance to reclaim the lead. So here comes the Plum offense. One team will get their first win of the season. The other will fall to 0-3. Still 9:46 to play to determine that. Backfield here for the Mustangs. Nonenberg tossing it back to the right, and the pass is incomplete. A late break over there for Nico Signor. And that incomplete pass keeps the lead at 1 for Plum, as the Mustangs do take advantage of the Gateway safety. Gateway with the interception back at the 1-yard line. And on the ensuing play, an errant snap, Sid Bryant had to cover it up, and that led to the safety. And then Plum got the ball at around the 46-yard line. And as they straddled the quarter break, ended up taking the ball all the way down to the goal line, where it was a touchdown on a 4-yard run by Nonenberg, but he was not able to find his intended receiver, Signor, on the 2-point conversion. So Olivia Bigger will kick off for Plum as the Mustangs have taken this 1-point lead on Gateway, 15-14. Gateway faithful on the far side, holding pat. Meanwhile, the Plum crowd has thinned out a good bit since halftime over here on the near side.
Gators numbers 3, Sean Moorfield, and 21, Nazir Diggs.
Bigger bloops a kick, caught by Houston at around the 35. He's hit hard, driven back, and his jersey grabbed, and he can't go any further. The whistles blow. And Gateway will have decent field position here on the short kick by Bigger, and a few yard return by Houston. Very nice open field tackle by Nick Sheffo for the Plum Mustangs.
Ball is spotted on the 37-yard line.
So 37-yard line is where the Gators will start here. From 63 yards from reclaiming the lead. Whistles before the snap, and Gateway takes a timeout. Don Hall wants to have a conversation with his offensive squad.
The Gators take their second timeout. They'll have one remaining. 9 minutes, 44 seconds left on the clock here in the fourth quarter. First down and 10.
Don't forget, join us next week. Gateway at Kiski. 7 o'clock kickoff. Big East Conference action. One of 2 games next week here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. We've got girls volleyball on Thursday against Franklin Regional before traveling to Kiski on Friday. And then the following Monday and Thursday, we've got girls and boys soccer at home versus Fox Chapel and Hempfield, respectively. And then it's a home game against the Franklin Regional Panthers for this Gators football team. And the following Friday, we're back on the road at Armstrong. And for the girls soccer team, returns to GatewayGatorProductions.com to host Hampton on October 2nd. And then Friday, October 4th, the Battle of the Bell homecoming in Monroeville as the Gators take on the Penn Trafford Warriors. Gateway has held on to the bell for the last 2 years. Motion man from left to right is Amari Gans. It's Sid Bryant trying to set up the screen to S.J. Moorfield. And as Sid Bryant released the ball, he was knocked down to the turf. And this is going to be roughing the passer. That's going to go against Mason Essig, 6'3" senior, knocking Sid down to the turf. And that 15-yard penalty pushes the ball into Mustangs territory. 1st and 10 for Gateway at the 48.
And that'll move the ball to the 48-yard line in Mustang territory. 1st down and 10 for the Gators.
Gators looking to reclaim the lead here with 9:41 to go in the fourth quarter. Down by 1. Sid Bryant completing a pass to S.J. Moorfield, who spins out of a tackle. There he goes down the far sideline, and he'll be forced across that boundary by Nico Signor.
Sean Moorfield. And he takes it deep in the Mustang
S.J. Moorfield. Watch him hit that spin button right there. And took it to that far boundary. Gateway has it 1st and 10. Ball at the 24-yard line. Line to gain makes it the 14. Bryant, hands off. Gans up the middle. Showing power. Driving the pile. Here come the Gators to help him out. Gain of about 7. The ball came out of there, and Plum comes out of there with the ball. Amari Gans lost the football, and Plum comes out of the pile with it. Let's take another look at this one.
TJ Petulis with the recovery. And the Mustangs take over on offense.
Gans was headed to the turf. Looked like the ball squirted out. Couldn't tell if the knees were down or not. The officials were there near the spot.
Looks like they will be starting at the 17-yard line.
So instead of Gateway holding it, 1st and 10 at the 17 inside of the Mustangs red zone, they turn it over, and Plum has it. The chance to build on a lead. The quarterback is Nonenberg. Flags come from the near sideline. False start against Plum. That'll push them back 5 to the 12.
Five yards back for Plum, offsides. And it is first and 15 at the 12-yard line.
Run 36.
Hand off for the Mustangs. Odom drives the pile. Makes up for the penalty and more.
Nicky Odom with the pickup.
Picks up about 6.
Numbers 9, Casey Carter, and 54.
Casey Carter involved in the stop for Gateway. And it's second down and 9 for the Mustangs.
Ball on the 18, second down and 9 for the Mustang offense.
Line to gain is the 27. Nonenberg in the pistol. Keeps it himself. Pressured. Wrapped. Spinning. The Gators are all over him. Gans and Carter combined for the sack.
Gator defense of Murray Gans and Casey Carter with the sack.
Gans holding on for dear life. And then Carter came to clean it up.
Ball on the 13, third down and 14.
Loss on that play of 5 makes it 3rd and 14 from the 13. Line to gain, as I said, is the 27 for the Mustangs. Nonenberg with a sidecar to his right. And a timeout comes from the near sideline by Matt Morgan.
Timeout taken by the Mustangs.
As he storms out onto the field to have a conversation with his Plum team. Let's take a look ahead again for the Plum Mustangs as they head into Northeast Conference play. As they are 0-2 on the season, looking for their first win against Gateway today. They'll host Shaler next Friday. 3 straight home games for Plum, hosting Gateway, Shaler, and Pine Richland before they travel to Penn Trafford, stepping out of conference. Then they'll be at North Hills, hosting Fox Chapel at Kiski, so another non-conference matchup there for Plum. And then it'll be at Penn Hills to wrap up the season for the Mustangs. So 3rd and 14 here for Plum. Mustangs looking to take advantage of a Gateway giveaway. Plum has certainly exploited the Gators' mistakes this evening. A safety and then a touchdown to follow has put Plum on top of Gateway 15-14. The ball's loose here on the end around. They were running the reverse where the Mustangs wiggling his way through some traffic, still on his feet, and finally out across the 30. It's a first down for Darian Nelson and the Plum Mustangs.
Excellent pickup, number 5, Darian Nelson.
This play looked like it was done from the get-go, but a terrific effort by Darian Nelson to make something happen, getting out of traffic and ultimately taking that ball out across the 30 to the 32. And now it's the pistol for Nonenberg as the clock continues to wind. Gators watching the Mustangs kill clock here. Hand off. Nowhere to go for Odom as the Gators were there. Kane Bandy makes the stop for Gateway. And Bandy, 6'3", 270-pound junior on that defensive front for Gateway.
Looks like second down and 8 as the ball is spotted at the 34-yard line.
You can tell Plum very happy right now with this 1-point lead to milk as much clock as possible. Especially since Gateway has not been able to mount any significant offense here in the second half. And when they did so, they turned the ball right over to Plum after it would have been A red zone possession for the Gators. Ball carrier Odom. He is driven back and buried into the turf. Jackson Smith at the bottom of the pile. Tristan Houston also involved.
Looks like no gain on the play. It is a gain of 1 yard. 3rd down and 7. Ball spotted on the 35-yard line.
3rd and 7 here for Plum. Gateway needs a stop here. Mustangs had 3rd and long, but were able to come out of there with a 1st down to keep the drive going on the previous set of downs. Nonenberg drives his way forward. He's stopped well shy of the 1st down marker. The line to gain was around the 42, and he is stalled at the 38, so that'll bring up 4th and 4, and the punt unit's going to have to come on for Plum.
Brought down by Jackson Smith and Elijah Fisher.
Jackson Smith and Elijah Fisher involved in the tackle. Nonenberg not too happy with the punt unit coming out, but I mean, it's 4th down and 3, maybe 4 here. A situation where if the Gators get the stop, the Mustangs have their backs up against it. At least if they're able to get a decent punt here from Futulis. Gateway's going to have the long field to deal with. Let's see what Futulis can do. Low snap, he gets the kick away. Takes a bounce in favor of Gateway, then it'll roll to the sideline at around the 37-yard line. So Gateway again starting a drive. We'll start it at the 38. So this one 62 yards away from Gateway reclaiming the lead with 4:39 to play in the 4th quarter. Both of these teams looking for their first win of the year. Gateway outscored through the first 2 weeks 97-21. The Mustangs outscored 74-25 through their first 2 weeks. Talked about Gateway being at Kiski next week. Then it'll be at home against Franklin Regional. Back and forth we go between home and away games before wrapping up the season with 2 home games against the Trobe in conference and Hempfield out of conference and out of classification. As Gateway, as I talked about in the first half, plays 3 6A teams this season. Sid Bryant hit as he releases the football. It's down on the turf. Rolls to the far sideline. Plum's trying to say they had the football, but I think it crossed the sideline. Now they're going to say it's Plum football. Well, the umpire spotted the ball, pointed one way.
And it rolled out of bounds. 2nd down and 10.
Now the officials are going to have a conversation about the clock. I'm going to come over here, talk to one of the coaches who can radio up to the coaches in the booth next to me. Ball rolled out of bounds. And the officials say it rolled out of bounds 8 seconds ago. So after Sid Bryant had lost the ball and it went across the sideline, it will be Gateway ball. But 2nd and a long field to deal with. Sid Bryant finds S.J. Moorfield. He's got the 1st down. He's into Plum territory. He picks up a block. He's inside of the 40 and brought down at around the 35-yard line. S.J. Moorfield across the boundary before the stop is made by Nico Signor.
And he takes it into Mustang territory. Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Gator offense.
First and 10 for Gateway at the 34. Gators looking to reclaim the lead with 4:12 to play in the 4th quarter. Gateway was up 14-7 at half. Handoff Gans. Gans bounces left. He's got the 1st down as he's brought down at around the 21-yard line. And the clock will run now as Gans was brought down inbounds. You hear that very intent whistle coming from the referee. He has started to become a little bit frustrated with the clock operation here with the late start on the play clock, and that's why he's trying to chop that in more demonstratively. Chop that in is the term for starting the play clock. Handoff, Gans bouncing left again. He's got nothing but greenery in front of him. A flag comes in back behind the play. And this is going to negate what would have been first and goal for the Gators.
Gans carries it into the end zone. There is a flag on the play.
Gans had a crease, bounce left. Conversation here with the official and the Plum captain. Obviously they're going to accept the penalty here. Instead of first and 10, it will be first and 20. Huge hole for Gans. And a flag that came in over on that left side. Didn't see a whole heck of a lot of holding there as Tyler Boleno basically got pancake blocked over on that far side. But a very similar case to what we saw on the touchdown run last year, which would have clinched a Gateway playoff victory against Moon. Tass to the left side. S.J. Moorfield drives his way for a gain of about 5. Now, you have to remember that in high school, holding comes from the spot of the foul, so ultimately there was a gain of 5 on that play prior to the previous flag. So it was first and 15 rather, now it's second down and 10 with the ball at the 22. $10 on the play clock as Don Hall needs to take a timeout. Some confusion with the Gateway offense. 3 minutes, 1 second remain here in the fourth quarter. Second and 10 for Gateway with the ball at the 22. We saw the Gators on their previous possession take the ball down inside of the Plum red zone, and then Amari Gans fumbled and it was taken away by Plum. Three minutes, 1 second to go here off of the Gators timeout. It's second and 10 for Gateway at the 22. Sid Bryant's in the shotgun with Gans to his right. Gators in motion, a receiver from left to right in Gowder. Now to put trips on the right of the formation. Bobbled snap, handoff, Gans has a convoy. He's got the first down. First and goal for the Gators at the 10. And now a flag comes in for pushing and shoving after the play.
Solid pickup for number 5, Amari Gans. There was a flag following the play.
You can hear Don Hall yelling from here, and rightfully so. Kane and Bandy did his job. He drove a defensive player all the way back into the ground. And then after the play was over, when cooler heads should have prevailed, pushing and shoving continued. And Bandy gets his hand caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And instead of first and goal at the 10, the ball will be back to the 25, so the Gators will have the long field to deal with. It'll be back to the 25-yard line where it is first and 10. There was a Mustang shaken up back behind the play. That was Darian Slaughter, and Slaughter is to his feet and to the sideline. Hopefully he'll be able to return for Plum. It's 1st and 10 for Gateway at the 25 instead of 1st and goal for Gateway at the 10. Motion man, Carter from right to left. Shovel pass, Gans dives his way back to the line of scrimmage but can't get any further. Mustangs were all over that one as Boleno makes the stop.
McCall Burns Diggs with the tackle. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 25-yard line.
And off, Gans hesitating, bouncing right. Can't find a crease though. Plum was all over that. Clock winding to 2:10 to go.
Tackle by Nick Sheffo and Darian Nelson. A gain of 1 yard. 3rd down and 9. Ball at the 24-yard line.
Down under 2 minutes to go here on 3rd down and 9 from the 24. Sid Bryant in the shotgun, bunch formation to his left. Play action. Sid gonna tuck and run. No, he's gonna scramble to his left. Tosses downfield. The pass is incomplete. A flag came from the far side, and I think this may be defensive holding against Plum based on the direction of where that flag came from and to where it was thrown. So I think this is defensive holding against Plum, as I said. Came from the official on that far side. And that 10-yard penalty gives Gateway a 1st down at the 14.
And that will be a 10-yard penalty. Ball spotted at the 14-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Gator offense.
Again, some Gators confusion. Still plenty of time on the play clock, so you don't want to panic in this situation. Still 15 to snap it. 90 seconds to play on 1st and 10 at the 14 for the Gators in the red zone. Carter motions inside. Sid Bryant tosses right. Amari Gans is wide open, and he'll dance into the end zone for a Gateway touchdown to reclaim the advantage. 20-15 with 1:25 to play in regulation. Gans was just absolutely wide open, and that's the 2nd touchdown pass of the game for Sid Bryant, where his receiver had nothing but greenery and a purple end zone in front of him.
For the 2-point conversion late in the 4th quarter.
Toss to the right. It's wide open for S.J. Moorfield, and Moorfield hauls it in for the 2-point conversion. And Sid Bryant and the Gateway Gators have reclaimed a 7-point lead. They had a 7-point lead at halftime, 14-7. They saw that disappear on a safety and then an ensuing touchdown for the Mustangs. Gateway had a couple of chances and finally cashes in here. 1:25 to play. The Mustangs will have an opportunity with the football, but Gateway has reclaimed a 7-point lead. Gateway faithful on the far sideline, still hanging in. Want to see their team get their first victory of the season. Plum with an opportunity to try to extend this football game with this possession. And it'll all start with the kick return for the Mustangs. James Lococo will kick off for Gateway. End over end kick for Lococo, returned by the Mustangs from the 28-yard line. On the return is Charles Hart, but C.J. Hart has nowhere to go. The Gators just swallowed him up. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on the return. So Kane and Bandy with a penalty on the previous possession for the Gators. In fact, Gateway had several penalties on the previous possession that they were able to overcome and end up getting the score to claim the lead with 1:17 to play here in the fourth quarter. There was a holding call against Gateway. There was a unsportsmanlike conduct against the Gators. Both of those could have been costly, but Gateway held strong, got the score. And now can the defense stop the Mustangs? Plum with 2 touchdowns today and a safety to their credit as Sid Bryan had to cover up an errant snap in the end zone. Flush from the pocket is Nonenberg. Running to the left. He's across the line of scrimmage. They're going to say a completed pass. The only problem is he was at the 31-yard line when he threw the pass. Gateway has a player down inside of Mustangs territory. And let's take another look at this one. Nonenberg, well, he actually, you can continue to step through the pass. So he actually was not across the 31 when he released, across the 30 when he released the ball. Great body control there by Nonenberg, and I misspoke a little bit there, and I apologize. Great execution there by Nonenberg. I thought he was certainly across that line of scrimmage, but ultimately not. As the Gator down Carlos Diggs. And you can just tell that right calf is just locked up here on this humid night. And this delay gives us a chance to look at this again. Watch Nonenberg here. I would have bet my last dollar that he was across that line of scrimmage when he threw the football, but instead he released it with his right foot just behind the line and then stepped through. So 1:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Mustangs with the ball at the 43. Gateway defense needs to buckle down. The Mustangs looking for their offense to get a spark. Nonenberg looks left, pressured, flag in as there was a blatant hold there. Elijah Fisher was getting mugged. Benjamin Strickland was absolutely mugging Elijah Fisher. And that 10-yard penalty is going to push the Mustangs back to the 33-yard line.
10 yards. Repeat of first down, 20 yards to go.
So it's 1st and 20 for the Mustangs with 1:05 to play here in regulation. Gateway up by 7 as Nonenberg's in the shotgun with a sidecar to his left. Bunch formation on the right. Nonenberg with some time, steps up into the pocket, scrambling. Now he's across the line of scrimmage and will take it to the near boundary, pressured by Amari Gans. And that rush by Nonenberg.
Nonenberg out of bounds.
Cuts it from 2nd and 20 to 2nd and 15, maybe 2nd and 14, so a gain of 6 on that run. Under a minute to go here at Plum. A tense atmosphere for those who have hung around.
2nd down and 14 for the Mustang offense.
Hands clap. Nonenberg hitches, scrambles left. Settles his feet. It's tipped and caught by Amari Gans. Amari Gans will be wrestled to the turf, but that'll do it as the takeaway by Amari Gans. And the Gateway Gators will get their first victory of the season on the INT by Gans. Gans, who had the game-winning touchdown, gets the game-sealing takeaway. And the Mustang fans head to the gates here at Plum High School. Gateway will get their first victory of the season. As it stands right now, it is a 22-15 score. And all but elementary, as it appears, Sid Bryant will take a knee or two and kill the clock here in Plumboro, Pennsylvania. Low snap. Sid takes the knee at the 50. And the clock will wind down to under 40. No chop in the play clock, and that will do it. The Gateway Gators, their first victory of the season. They are now 1-2 on the year, getting the victory over the Plum Mustangs, while Plum will fall to 0-3 on the season. They'll be back here at Plum, will the Mustangs, next week to take on the Shaler Titans, as a timeout is taken by Matt Morgan to extend this game just a little bit more, but providing nothing crazy happens on a shotgun snap or anything like that, as we saw a shotgun snap on that previous play to Sid Bryant. Nothing crazy happens. We're talking about the first win of the season for this Gateway football team, who heads to conference play next week as well. Gateway will be at Kiski. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Vince Russo and I plan to be on the call for you next Friday night in the upper Allegheny Valley. And we'll be back at the friendly confines of Antamarino Stadium to host the Franklin Regional Panthers on September 20th before we head back up to Armstrong. As that snap bounces out of the hands of Bryant, exactly what Plum was kind of thinking about, but Dyson Harper was Johnny on the spot, falls on top of it, and that will finally do it here at Plum High School. Again, the Gateway Gators get their first victory of the season, as they are now 1-2 with the 22-15 victory over the Plum Mustangs, who see their record fall to 0-3 on the season. I want to thank you for joining us here at Plum High School tonight. I want to thank our very diligent crew. I want to thank the newest member of our crew, our production assistant, Austin Schaefer, doing a great job the last couple of football games for us. Also helped out on a soccer match the other night. Allie Gusky and Bree Gusky running replay and camera respectively. Dale Breakall on our feature camera, and Lee Schaefer Jr. on our primary camera. Also our engineer and our director is Lee Schaefer III. Again, Gateway defeating the Plum Mustangs by a score of 22-15 to improve their record to 1-2 on the season, while Plum falls to 0-3. We'll talk to you next week from Kiski as the Gators take on the Cavaliers in Big East Conference play. Vince Russo will be back on the call with us here on GatewayGatorProductions.com.